I like credit cards. So, if you are somebody who has followed some other financial gurus in the past, as well as if you've done your own research or anything like that, a lot of financial gurus actually caution against using credit cards. And the reason they do that is because if you've had overspending issues or you've had debt issues or any of that sort of stuff, they want to ensure that you are not having any issues again in the future. So, one of the first things they usually tell you to do is to stop using your credit cards, cut them up, and throw them away. This is not my philosophy, however. I personally believe that it's almost like when you are dieting. And sometimes, if you follow some extreme diets or fad diets or anything like that, they will say maybe to cut out carbs or cut out sugar or fruits and vegetables. There are ones that are out there that are like that, or it's eat only meat. And what happens is that it works for a while because you are cutting out those things, but it is not sustainable. And what happens is that one time you may binge and have that piece of bread, and then you start feeling guilty because you did have that piece of bread. But then sometimes you might even feel like throwing in the towel and be like, I've already had one piece of bread, why don't I have another piece of bread? Or I've already broke my diet this week, why don't I just continue on? And that cycle is not really sustainable or maintainable, because when you cut things out of your life, you end up really depriving yourself of it. And when you do go back into that mode, you tend to overdo it. So, my philosophy is to not cut it out. Everything in moderation, in your diet, in your financial world as well. And so, if you are somebody who is struggling currently with debt, and let's say you have a lot of debt on your credit cards, and you've identified personally that it's because you maybe have an overspending issue, maybe it might be that you're just not tracking your expenses and everything is going on your credit card and it's hard for you to keep track of that, then there are some ways that you can implement things to get better. Or you can go through a pattern of a 6-month period where you go cold turkey, you start using cash until it's been paid off, and then slowly reintroduce your credit card. This is what I do with my clients in my money mentorship program. I show you and I teach you ways that you can manage your finances so that you can be financially confident without depriving yourself and without going off the deep end and doing really extreme things that are just not really sustainable. So that's one of the things that I go over in my money mentorship program. But today I want to talk about credit cards and why I like credit cards, as well as some tips that I have in order for you to be able to use your credit cards a little bit better. So the first reason I really like credit cards is because carrying a lot of cash around obviously is risky. And in this day and age now, cash is gone. And especially in the last little while since COVID's been around, cash has completely been gone. A lot of places don't accept cash. They only accept debit or credit. And I personally feel a credit card is safer than a debit card. Now, the reason being is that one, your credit card has protections on it. So all credit cards have some sort of like insurances on it, but as well as credit card companies will protect you from fraud. If you purchase something online and it's not what you expected and the company is not giving you the money back, your credit card company will protect you on that. So for those reasons, I really like how safe it is, as well as you can put it onto your wallet app on your phone and leave with just your phone and have your credit card on your phone. You don't have a wallet anymore. There's no cash or any of that stuff. I know there's some sort of security issues sometimes on the other end with the phones, but from a safety perspective, all in all, a credit card is a very safe option. Now, the other reason I really like credit cards is, of course, because of the cashback or the rewards that you can get on a credit card. If you're going to be spending that cash anyways, so for things like, let's say, your energy bill, your phone bill, your groceries, those are things that are going to be constantly going on, you're spending them anyways, why not put them on your credit card and get some cash back or get some points? Because this is a great way to get a little added bonus at the end of the year if it's a cashback card, or if you're somebody who likes to travel, to use your points for travel. I have a card that has travel points on it, but as well as I can use it to buy merchandise. And I haven't traveled in a while, and this year I used my points to do a lot of my Christmas shopping with. And there are some benefits to having points on your credit card. And so using your credit card for things that you are already going to be purchasing is a great way to be sure that you can get a little bit of a reward at the end of the month. Number three reason why I like credit cards is it's a great way for you to track your expenses. So it can be good and it can be bad, right? Because you can set up, it's so easy to set up subscriptions on there, but it's also really easy to see those subscriptions on your credit card bill. A great way to track your spending. And what I recommend is use your credit card and then review your credit card statement on a weekly basis and just see what is going on. And you don't even have to do like a major budget. You can just go through and go line by line and just categorize it, and even just print it off on your computer, and you can put like an N beside it, which means need, and a W beside it, which is a want. And then you can be like, okay, are my wants really something that I need to be doing? Or can I maybe reduce my wants a little bit? And it's a great way to keep track of your expenses, as well as review and see how you're doing on a weekly basis. Now, my tips for how to use a credit card properly. And I don't want to say properly, but in a way where it's going to be manageable for you, where you don't end up going into debt, you don't end up paying interest, and it's not becoming problematic for you. So my first rule always is I will never put anything on my credit card that I don't have the cash for in my account for. So that is a great rule of thumb that you can adopt, okay? But as well as there's a 21-day period between when you put something on your credit card and the time that the bill is due. So let's say you're in between paychecks. You can also use your credit card at that point, but just remember that when you get paid, to put that amount back onto your credit card. Which leads me to point number 2 of how to use your credit card. I use my credit card on a daily basis. I use it for everything because I want to get the points and I want to get the cash back. But what I do is I use my credit card, and then the minute I get home, I transfer whatever I've used from my checking account onto my credit card. And so there's never this big bill at the end of the month, because I used to be one of those people that put everything on my credit card because I was advised to put everything on my credit card. And then at the end of the month, I had this big bill of $2,000, and I didn't like having that one big bill of $2,000 every single month. And so what I decided to do for myself and my personal finances was anytime I put something on my credit card, I'll come home and I'll transfer that amount right away so that I don't have to worry about it at the end of the month. And it's not a big lump sum that is coming off of my credit card. The other great way to use your credit card is to have a small credit card for when you are doing online purchases. Because remember I said that it's safe, you can be protected. And so you can also use a very small credit card or a different credit card that you can have for online purchases in case anything is to go wrong, in case there was any fraud or anything that would happen on your credit card. You've got that protection as well on your credit card on this other smaller credit card, and they're not having access to your full big credit card limit. So those are my tips on how to use a credit card. I really honestly don't believe in cutting things out of your life, because I believe in a lifestyle adjustment. A holistic kind of approach to your finances is not to cut out the credit cards, to deal with what the root cause is of the spending and the debt and the use or the overuse of the credit card, and really deal with that problem, and then be able to be responsible with your credit card and still use it. Because if you go and you cut it out, then you're going to end up having in the future, maybe not right away, but there is going to be a time where you are going to end up going back into that pattern of overspending because you've been deprived from the usage of the credit card. Imagine if I told you that you could never eat fried chicken again. You are going to want fried chicken from the minute I've mentioned fried chicken. And with credit card usage and financial issues, I always want to make sure that we're not depriving ourselves and we're not doing things cold turkey. We're dealing with the root cause of what is happening and why it's happening, and really being more mindful about it and implementing little strategies in the way that can help you get to your goals financially. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you would like a copy of my expense tracker that I use on a daily basis to keep track of my expenses, comment below debt and I will be able to, and I'll send it to you as soon as possible. And if there's any other questions that you have, if you want to know more about my money mentorship program, comment below that you want to know more and I will reach out to you and send you the details. It does start in January, and we can get the year started off with a fresh start for you and really have 2022 be your year of financial confidence. Have a great day and I will see you all soon.